Welcome back, Middle Age Grind. And today, what I want to talk about is a topic, dividends to create your own pension. Okay? So I want to go over some of the reasons why I like dividends as a strategy to one day create a pension for me and my family. So one of the things I do and I really like, and I've mentioned before, and I'm not a financial advisor, but I do like the SCHD, the Schwab High Dividend Yield ETF. And one of the things I really like about this ETF is the compound annual growth rate of the dividend. So the starting yield right now on SCHD is only 3.36%. And a lot of people think, wow, I can make more in a savings account right now or a CD or something like that. And that is true, you can. Those yields though are either fixed or not going up, continuing. And the compound annual growth rate for SCHD, the 5-year is 11.95 and the 3-year is 8.74. So let me explain to you what that means. That means every year your dividend rate, your yield on cost, is going up by a significant amount. And even with the crazy inflation we've had over the past couple years, if you're going to get somewhere between that, just say a 10% compound annual growth rate, you're outpacing inflation, okay? So another cool thing about dividends, dividends are paid out per shares owned, not per stock price, okay? And a lot of times what you hear with people when they're about to retire is, oh, I hope the market doesn't tank before I retire. And, you know, the sequence of returns risk when you start drawing down money and the market goes down 20%. The cool thing about dividends, if you have a strategy and are in ETFs or even stocks that grow the dividend rate, what the market does really doesn't matter as long as the dividend is not cut and it keeps growing. So another big thing I want to talk about is yield on cost. Okay, yield on cost. What does that mean? Well, when you buy a tranche, okay, at one time of dividend stocks or an ETF, you're getting the rate right now. Right now that rate's 3.36 on SCHD. However, as time goes by and they grow that dividend every year and give you those raises, your yield on cost goes up, okay? Unlike a CD or a savings account or anything like that. So, you know, it's not uncommon to have a yield on cost in a 20-year portfolio somewhere in the 7 to 8% range because you bought years back. Now keep in mind, as you continue to buy, if you dollar cost averaging, you're getting that current yield. But as time goes on, you keep on getting those raises as time goes on. So what does it look like? You know, I did an example here on how much money you would need to get $85,000 a year in dividends, all right? So when I was figuring in, let's say you want a 6-figure income, right? $100,000. Well, one of the things in retirement you can back out, let's say you're saving 15%. Well, when you're in retirement, you're not going to be saving that 15% anymore. So that $100,000 is $85,000. With a yield on cost of 7.5%. Now keep in mind, this is a portfolio that's probably 20 years old, 25 years old, because you have bought years prior. You would need $1,330,000 basically to get that number, to buy enough shares, okay? So if you're saving $1,000 a month for 25 years and you have a 10% rate of return, you're gonna hit that. And like I say, the cool thing about dividends is, let's say you get that $85,000 a year your first year in retirement. If that compound annual growth rate on that dividend is around 10%, next year it goes to 93.5 and continues to go on and on and on. And the hope is that you can use this strategy to outpace inflation, because inflation has been pretty bad lately, but historically it's been around the 3% mark. And guys, there's no, and I'm going to give you my take again on Social Security. I think it will be there. They're going to have to make some tweaks, and it's going to cause some political turmoil when that comes. 8-10 years from now, when they're saying Social Security is going to be no longer solvent, my opinion is, and the opinion of a lot of people, is that those tweaks will be made. It may be adjusting the full retirement age for some younger people like me. I'm only 42. It may be they raise the cap on, I think right now it's a little over 160,000 they stop taking out. They'll probably have to raise that number a little bit. And if they do those little things there, it should keep it solvent for several more decades. And I think that's inevitable. They're not going to let Social Security go away. And like I say, this dividend strategy is just one piece of the puzzle, right? And another thing, and I've talked about in another video, I don't only have SCHD, I have other ETFs and stocks, stocks such as Apple and Microsoft and Nvidia, Tesla, Facebook, Amazon. It's kind of the big ones, Magnificent Seven, so to speak. They don't pay high dividends, but their growth, their share appreciation is usually pretty good. And the cool thing is, when you have a mix of these in your retirement accounts, one day as you get closer to retirement, you can sell off some of those things and buy some more high yielding dividend stocks. But like I say, I mean, for most people, we talked about this before, $1,000 a month, let's say in your 40s, if you can do this for 20, 25 years, you can create you a pretty good quote unquote pension plan using dividends. And I think it's just something that, everything, a reason why I do these videos, and I started it out for my kids, but if it's something I think can help people, if you want to solve your problems, the best thing you can do is wake up and look every day in the mirror. That's who's going to solve them. It's not the government guys. It's not anybody else going to bail you out kind of thing. And the cool thing is, in this day and age with YouTube and the internet, there's so much information out there. And I've learned all of this stuff through that, basically. If you want to check out a pretty cool YouTuber, go check out Gen X Dividend Investing. He goes over his entire portfolio. I believe he's a little bit older than me. He's probably around 50. Been doing it for 30 years. This guy has over $100,000 a year in dividend income, and been basically retired now since his mid to late 40s, and just kind of been doing this program. And he goes over a lot of things about dividends, and there's pluses and minuses, but to me the pluses way outweigh the minuses. Especially the fact is, look, we're going to have years, guys, like in 22 markets can be down 20%. You know the people, oh, my 401k's down, oh, I'm delaying my retirement. This strategy kind of eliminates that a little bit and takes out, your overall balance in a portfolio. To me, it's kind of like the equity in your home, your main home, right? It can go up, it can go down, but if you're not selling your home, it really doesn't matter that much. If my home's worth $600,000 today and $450 in 6 months from now, if I'm not selling, it's not a big deal. And it's kind of the same thing with this strategy in portfolios. And I just wanted to share with you some of the highlights today on why I like dividends using this plan going forward. And hopefully more people will take advantage of this and be more reliant on their personal pension plan, because most pension plans have went away years ago. I'm 42. I don't know anyone my age who has a pension. So let's do this kind of stuff, guys, and make our retirement better going forward. With that said, I'll see you next time on the Middle Age Grind.